First, I cut 2 pieces to length for the middle shelf. And then I glued them together to make a panel. For the top and bottom, I got some 8/4 red oak boards that I first had to cut to size. And then I glued them together to make panels, one for the top and one for the bottom. After the panels got glued, I used 60 grit sandpaper in a random orbit sander to make them flat. I trimmed the boards to make sure they're square. And then I cut them to width. And then ripped them to the proper depth. Now I need to cut off the back corners at 45 degrees. I'm going to measure 12 inches along the back from the corner and 12 inches along the side from the corner, and then I'm going to draw a diagonal line. And then use my track guide and the circular saw to cut off the corners. And this is what the top and bottom look like. I cut the sides to length, and I cut some oak plywood for the back. This is where the 3/4 inch groove is going to go. I used a straight 3/4 inch router bit to cut this groove, and I did it in multiple passes. And then I used the chisel to clean up the corners. To hold the middle shelf, I cut a 3/4 inch groove in all the side and back pieces, and to make sure that the groove was at the same height in all of them, I used a spacer. To join the 3 back pieces at a 45-degree angle, I used a 90-degree V-bit that was half an inch from the fence and half an inch deep. And this is what the edge looks like. And here all of the joints are now cut. Dry fit. And now with the shelf. The sides here and the back can be completely glued in, but this diagonal back pieces are only going to be glued in the middle here because this piece and the top piece are going to expand and contract in this direction with humidity changes, and it will break the plywood if I glue it along the whole length. So I have turned this upside down, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to glue the sides and the back completely and the diagonal pieces only in the middle. I glued the shelf in, and then finally I glued one front piece on each side. For the finish, I applied 2 coats of white on poly.